Hi everyone, my name is Anthony Kahinga. Welcome to this channel, Raising Geniuses. And today's topic is, when is the right time to introduce gadgets to your children? According to World Health Organization, a child below 2 years should not be introduced to a gadget. And then moving forward, 2 years to around 6 years, this is the formative years. They call it preschool years. There are measures that you should follow when introducing gadgets. Then from there, it's 6 all the way to 13 years. This is preteens. And then the rest is 13 years all the way to 16 years or 17 years. So we'll start by 0 to 2 years. Officially, parents start introducing their children to gadgets when they are weaned. This is from 6 months. When a child starts eating, and this is common, even I've seen with my wife, when my children started eating, they started introducing gadgets and playing YouTube, and then the child watches as they feed. So it's a distracting measure for the children. Before we know it, the child gets to get used to that, so that every time they're eating, they need the gadget to eat. So parents give the children their devices. So it starts with mom giving the children their phone, and then they start watching as they eat. Eventually, a child somehow forms that habit, and now is the time to get the child a device. So from around 6 months to 2 years, you find most parents are still introducing gadgets to their children. And then from there, from 2 years to around 6 years, this time the children are in the house, and most of the time parents are busy and they need something as a distractor to give the children. So you find the parent will buy a gadget, either a tablet or a phone. So I would like us to start today and discuss which is better, a tablet or a phone. Which is better to introduce to your child. So the first thing, when we are introducing a gadget to a child, we look at the size of the screen. A standard phone has about 5 inches in terms of the size, and a tablet has 7, 8, and around 10 inches. So for a smaller phone, it's not appropriate for your child to be watching anything from a smaller phone, from a smaller gadget, because number one, the screen is a bit small for them to view. Number two, there is something called privacy. So the bigger the screen, the better it is for your child. So if you have a smaller screen, you may not appropriately see what their child is doing. So children end up hiding in the bedrooms at night. Like I remember my daughters, when they started using our gadgets, they used to go with the phones in the bedroom and they're hiding in the blankets, and we don't even know what they are interacting with. We say 0 to 2 years, the gadgets act as distractors. And mostly the children are on YouTube or YouTube Kids. Moving forward, 2 to 4 years, this is the best time to introduce educational apps for your children. There are so many apps that are there for children, especially for foundational literacy and numeracy. This means that a child needs to learn how to speak. They need to learn how to calculate, count numbers, see the colors. So there are so many apps that are there that give this support even before the child gets to school. So around 4 to 6 years, introduce the gadget to the child and make sure the gadgets have appropriate apps. So from 2 to 4 years, there are many YouTube channels that children get attracted to. We have Teacher Rachel, one of the most viewed YouTube channel, and mostly she speaks about sounds, numbers, and creativity in the world. So you find that these channels are able to teach the children pronunciation, number one. They're able to teach the children the occurrences of the world. Like, for example, in Africa or in Kenya, it's very hard for a child to maybe see snow. And then maybe certain seasons, like winter, autumn, spring, and the other seasons, it's hard for the children to experience this. So they only get a chance to understand these seasons when they watch the channels. So the children are exposed to a bigger scope and wider knowledge and skills beyond what they can in their country. So this is we can recommend YouTube Kids and the channels that are on YouTube for especially 2 to around 4 years. When the child is now 4 years, a child can be able to interact with an application or a game. So this is the best time to introduce an application that your child can be able to play along as they learn. For example, we have Math Kids. Math Kids is an app that a child is able to maybe learn the basics from number 1 or to number 10. Although this child has not gotten to school, it's easy for a child to know when you say 1 apple and then you add, you have another apple, they become 2 apples, and they go adding and adding. There are songs like, there were 5 little monkeys sleeping on the bed, one fell out and bumped his head, how many are left? So these songs even help learners or children around 4 to 6 years be able to understand the basic literacy and numeracy skills that are crucial, especially they be crucial in primary school. Now, this time also we are supposed to be very keen on the size of the screen. If you have a very tiny screen for these learners, number one, they do not know the best what to click or what not to click. So you find, for example, I had my boy who is now 6 years. When he was around 4 years of age, he used to see the YouTube Kids and see download this app. Every time he used to click download because the app, the button is green and looks flashy. And then they end up downloading so many apps on my phone that were not necessary. And they do not have an idea on how to manage this. The best apps for this stage, we can talk about Jollyphonics. That is one of the best apps that you can download for your child. You can download it from Play Store or App Store. Jollyphonics has foundational literacy content. So your child can trace all the way from A to Z. So this is one of the best apps you can download. The other app that I would recommend that you download for your child at this age, from around 4 to 6 years, is called Khan Academy. Khan Academy is an open source application that is free for use and free for download. So with this application, you can be able to learn a lot of things. Locally here in Kenya, there are several applications that are approved by KICD, and applications that can be useful for local learning. Number one, we can talk about Isoma Kids. Isoma Kids is an application that teaches your children on how to do formative, foundational, and literacy and numeracy works. So when moving forward from 4 to 6 years, we now come to the point where your child has already gone to primary school, especially when your child is in grade 1. The best things to have them use a tablet with a bigger screen, probably 8 inches all the way to 10.1 inches. The children are assigned homeworks on these platforms using Google Classroom and other platforms that assign homeworks. And a child needs to read well and even watch videos that are content-based videos. So in this stage, they are more focused on learning and advancing their knowledge and skills. So I would recommend that parents should be more involved at this stage to guide their children on what applications they should be using. The teachers also assign homeworks and even give parents ideas on which applications to use. Using ElimuTab, for example, there are about 1,000 books that come preloaded. So you find that a teacher can assign a student a book. They assign about a book a week for a child. So a child is able to pick the tablet, read a book, play a video in that book, answer questions about that story, and submit to the teacher. So you find that the tablet is a useful tool for learning, for teachers to assign homework. From around 7 years to 12 years of age, we call this the preteen age. Learners are curious. Now they are keen to learn games. The most popular game at this stage, and many parents know, is called Roblox. And many don't know what it is. We'll discuss more in another video. But there are so many games that enable creative thinking. One of the apps that we can talk about is a simple one, playing piano. Playing piano using an app is the easiest thing your child can do, because they learn the basics, and then after that they're able to actually play on the keyboard or on the piano, whether you have it at home or you have it in school. So this is an art and a skill that you can just download an app, and your child can be able to learn in a self-paced way without having to hire a teacher for that. The other example that I would like to talk about is learning foreign languages at this age, from 7 to 12 years. This is the primary school age. It's Duolingo. This is an app that is useful for your child to learn foreign languages. It has over 40 plus foreign languages: German, Mandarin, French, and this is a self-paced app. Once your child has a tablet and you have this app installed, the child can be able to learn, do assessments on foreign languages, and be able even to complete milestones. And it has 3 levels: intermediary, and then beginner, intermediary, and expert. So these and many other more apps are crucial for your child between 7 years to 12 years. So with a tablet and apps, your child can be able to learn certain skills. For example, how to play a piano, foreign languages and how to cook and many other things. Number two, apart from the school work, this is maths, English, and the other works that are assigned to the child, either through Google Classroom or other applications, your child can be able to interact with games that are useful, Roblox and the rest of the games that enhance creative thinking and able to make them become more creative. Now, the other crucial thing you need to introduce to your child at this stage using technology is coding. So there are several applications that help a child learn about coding. The first one I'd like to introduce is called Scratch. So scratch.org or Scratch Junior is an application that your child can start using at this stage to learn coding as a self-paced approach, even without the help of our teachers. So with this, we call it block-based coding and drag and drop kind of coding. You're able to introduce your child to this concept so that even as they advance to post-teenagehood, they already have the basics, foundational skills to learn coding. So from 7 to 12 years, we've said that introduce school learning content and applications. And then number two, introduce skill-based content applications that your child can be able to have one or two skills. Moving forward, post-teenagehood, this is a stage where the children understand themselves more. And now the tablets and gadgets are more useful in communication. So they've already started to connect with friends. Their friends have other devices, so they need to connect with them. When is the best time you're coming for class? Or have you done your homework? So this is the best time to start introducing your child to communication apps. So before that, from 2 years all the way to around 12 years, it's not good to let your child have social apps. Now, moving to 13 years of age all the way to 16 years of age, this time gadgets become more useful, especially in communication and in complex and advanced learning. Number one, a child using at this stage is able to do their homeworks without being monitored by their parents or assisted by their parents. So here you find that a child is able to connect with the teacher, download any information they need to download, and be able to submit without supervision. At this stage, the device or the gadget is used as a communication device. So at this point, children have maybe more than one device. They have a phone and they have a tablet. A phone is used for communication. Mostly they like chatting and calling their friends, and then the tablet is used for learning. So it is good and crucial that the parents get involved in the channels and in the social apps that your children are communicating and be able to learn who are their friends. And we will talk more about this in another episode that we are going to have. So at the age of 13 to 17 years of age, we've said devices are mostly used as a communication tool. And at this stage, parents should be more keen to know what apps their children are downloading, get to know what is Snapchat and what it involves, get to know if they downloaded TikTok and who are their friends and whom they are following, and other social apps. And then from there on, you can be able to introduce another gadget, maybe a phone. So a phone is essential for communication at this stage, and the tablet is used as a bigger screen for learning. So for this and more information, you can join us on the next episode to learn about digital safety, especially for our children between 13 and 17 years. So in summary, today we talked about the devices that, when is the best time to introduce devices to your child. 0 all the way to around 12 years, this is preteen. The primary device should be a tablet. A tablet has a bigger screen. They cannot hide in the bedroom or in the mattress or in their blankets. And it's easier for you to monitor what your child is doing. Number two, ensure the gadgets you're introducing to these learners at this stage have parental control application, and we discuss more about digital safety in the next episode. Number three, make sure you're involved every day in what your child is doing with this gadget. When is the best time to introduce a phone to your child? This is after teenagehood. So from around 13 years of age, that is the best time to introduce the device to your child, a phone to your child. And now the tablet becomes a secondary device and the phone becomes the primary device, because this stage, the 13 to 17-year-old are keen on communication. Thank you for watching today. Thank you for listening to us. Join us next time for our next episode. Make sure you leave your comments, giving us feedback, and even telling us what you would like us to discuss in the next time. Share with your friends and subscribe. So let's continue raising geniuses one episode at a time.